So the cold, top-tier genius who was always #1 just got dragged off her pedestal by some random guy? He has terrible grades, but he is cute and clingy, which makes her happy. But do not get it twisted, our guy is not that boyfriend. He is the one who always ranks second. And he thinks his chance has finally come since Liu Ruyan has been walking to school with He Qiang lately. No way, did the genius really get bagged by a slacker? Some guys are gossiping about it in the hallway.
Our guy Lin Mo leans back in an empty corner, totally perking up his ears to listen.
It is totally true, they say, because Liu Ruyan has been looking completely spaced out during class lately. Hearing this, Lin Mo coldly pushes away the person in front of him and starts fixing his collar. The school bully grabs his hand in annoyance, complaining that Lin Mo always turns cold the second they are done. Lin Mo just points at his watch, saying his 10 minutes are up and he is heading back to class. The bully grumbles, calling him Lin Mo and complaining that he even tolerated keeping their entire relationship a secret. He asks why he has to use a timer just to see him, but Lin Mo completely ignores him. But as our boy gets up to leave, the bully wraps his arms right around his waist. He clings like a needy kitten, begging for a few more minutes, which is honestly hilarious compared to his usual tough guy self. They are like two completely different people, but Lin Mo is absolutely not buying any of it. To Lin Mo, this guy is literally just a tool to relieve stress, and his grades are the ultimate bottom line. Lin Mo threatens to break up if he keeps acting up, making the bully look pretty annoyed. He grabs Lin Mo's head, pulling him in close while warning him never to say those 2 words again. He curses under his breath, but obediently lets go, and on his way back, Lin Mo bumps right into the genius, Liu Ruyan. Her sharp, intense gaze briefly lingers on his chest for a few seconds. Looking away, she points out in her clean voice that his button is undone, making Lin Mo look down and thank her. By the time he looks up, she is already in the classroom. She is quiet, hard to catch, and has a cold, logical mind. Their teacher once told Lin Mo that it is totally normal for boys to fall behind girls in school. Some girls do not even seem to pay attention, yet they instantly grasp everything on the very first try. So boys just have to grind hard, and unfortunately, all of Lin Mo's intense effort and diligence was just brushed off by the teacher as a dumb bird needing to fly first, while geniuses like Liu Ruyan only have to study a tiny bit to completely blow his hard work out of the water. Seeing her name constantly sitting right above his on the rankings makes him incredibly frustrated. He is determined to drag her down one day, even though they are actually childhood friends. But do not get any ideas. They are definitely not the type of childhood friends with romantic chemistry. They are just neighbors, and as Lin Mo is working on some exam papers by his window right now, he looks up and spots that slacker He Qiang standing right outside of Liu Ruyan's house. He is holding a bag of handmade cookies, waiting obediently, and Liu Ruyan comes downstairs pretty quickly. She looks incredibly fresh after her shower, looking like a swaying locust tree on a beautiful midsummer night. She is totally stunning, but completely unaware of her charm, which instantly makes He Qiang blush and freeze. After whispering a few words back and forth, He Qiang nervously hands her the bag of cookies. Honestly, do not let her cold exterior fool you, because deep down, she is a total player who loves attention. Having grown up in the spotlight, she knows exactly how to use her insane looks and charm to her advantage. Her absolute favorite thing is watching ordinary guys obsess over her, while Lin Mo just finished 2 exam papers. By the time He Qiang finally turns to leave, he is waving goodbye and looking back with every single step. Liu Ruyan just stands there under the street lamp, quietly watching him until he completely disappears around the corner. Lin Mo takes out his mistake notebook to start reviewing, but then he accidentally makes direct eye contact with Liu Ruyan down below, causing her to let out a soft chuckle. Almost as if she is deliberately teasing him, she tears open the bag of handmade cookies right there. She starts eating them slowly, one by one, keeping her lazy, challenging eyes locked right on him the entire time. He avoids the guy's eyes, looking down to review his test mistakes. As a warm summer night breeze blows, mosquitoes circle the street lamp, shining on him. Light spills onto our guy's desk, and he can feel the delinquent still watching. That guy lazily watches him close the window. Soon, the monthly exam rolls around. Meanwhile, the rumors about Liu Ruyan and He Qiang are spreading like wildfire. Every time He Qiang visits their class, the other students start teasing them. Some bold girls even shout out that her boyfriend is back to see her.
This always leaves He Qiang blushing, and he quickly slips away after a moment.
Liu Ruyan never denies the rumors, but our guy's seat is right by the door. He is always forced right into the splash zone of all this drama while trying to study.
When He Qiang shows up again, the girls in the back start making noise.
They are slapping desks and shaking chairs, being absolutely loud and annoying as hell. Our guy covers his ears, but can still hear the obnoxious cheering. Can you all seriously shut up? He stands up, completely losing his temper. He turns right toward Liu Ruyan, and his sudden shout instantly silences the whole room. The air freezes, and He Qiang looks like a kicked puppy, his eyes turning red. He quickly apologizes, saying he did not mean to disrupt his studying. Our guy is so done. He wasn't even yelling at him, so why is he crying?
Embarrassed, the girls in the back roll their eyes and snap that it is recess. They say talking is fine and mock him for studying when he is not even first.
Others chime in, asking why he is so pressed unless he actually likes Ruyan. They laugh, teasing him for being sour because he cannot have her. Hearing this, our guy looks at Li Ruyan's cold stare, feeling extremely annoyed. Why is it always her drama, yet she gets to play the innocent observer? I low-key hate characters like this.
She watches him like a spectator, so he turns to the loudest girl with a smirk.
He asks if she is that obsessed with watching other people date. The girl is completely shut down, her face turning bright red. She stutters a weak defense, but our guy just raises an eyebrow and tells her not to be shy. He suggests that if she wants a romance so bad, they could date instead. She stares in shock, unable to speak, while Liu Ruyan frowns and tries to intervene. But our guy just sits back down and grabs his vocabulary book. He puts his headphones on, grinding so hard he even dreams of test questions. During the final exam, Liu Ruyan hands her paper in early, which she never does. Especially since the math section is brutally hard, but she packs up and leaves. She glances at our guy by the door, who is still grinding through those last brutal problems.
And guess what? Our guy actually solves them. After that, Liu Ruyan leaves for physics camp.
With her gone, He Qiang stops showing up. Then, on his way to school, right after a summer storm, our guy spots the school bully fighting in an alley. The delinquent has this wild smirk on his face, moving with absolute peak reflexes.
It is obvious his taekwondo skills have leveled up, but our guy barely cares.
He just keeps walking past him, listening to his English practice on loop. Our guy is mentally grading his exam, confident he completely aced the English section. Suddenly, at the corner, he gets yanked into an alley and a hand covers his mouth. The delinquent's hand is burning hot against his face, his damp hair sticking to his skin. The slight touch of damp hair against his palm only makes the bully look more irritated. He finally lets go, muttering a curse as she ties up her hair, begging her to show some self-control. He raises an eyebrow, complaining that she's the one who gets him all worked up, only to leave him hanging. It's the ultimate double standard, and she honestly finds his clingy, pouty attitude so annoying. She gives him a cold look and tells him to make it quick because she has to get back to class.
He whines about her ignoring his texts, but she has no idea what he's talking about.
Then she remembers, oh right, he wanted to brag about finally getting his Taekwondo black belt. She says she was busy with exams, but he still pouts, saying that's no excuse to ignore him. But then she spots a smudge of fresh blood near his eyebrow, making her instantly frown and worry. Following her gaze, he quickly wipes it away with a shrug, assuring her it's not even his blood.
Are you actually worried about me?
Suddenly, his eyes are literally sparkling with hope. He looks like a needy puppy waiting for praise, but she turns away, telling him to clean up next time. Since he's dirty, he slowly lets go, totally acting like he's terrified of making her mad.
He whines that she won't even give him 10 minutes, but she just tells him to stop being so clingy.
Which is crazy because this guy was literally a cold, ruthless delinquent during his fight just minutes ago. When he whimpers if she stopped liking him, she says she'll like him more if he actually studied. Checking her watch, she tells him to behave before leaning down to plant a quick kiss on his lips. He obediently lets go, and as she turns, just as she takes a step, he grabs her at the alley entrance and pulls her into a kiss as wild as the summer storm. She melts into the sudden rush of his lips while the distant sound of classmates walking to school echoes outside. Amidst the ringing bicycle bells, his throat tightens as his gaze suddenly burns incredibly hot, like a raging furnace. Yet his touch softens like gentle rain, blending with the heavy, suffocating summer heat. It gets so muggy, she completely loses her breath, finally understanding why he muttered that curse earlier. He is dangerously teasing without even trying. She weakly tells him she needs to get to class. He chuckles softly. She asks what he is laughing at, her voice unusually soft and gentle. He tells her if she wants to leave early, she had better stay quiet. Honestly, Zhenyu is way too distracting, but hey, school always comes first. Trying to change the subject, she asks if he has an upcoming competition to attend. She quickly makes up an excuse, remembering he mentioned it once before. He looks up and confirms that yes, he has a pretty big tournament at 2:30 this afternoon. She promises him that if he wins first place, she will spend the whole weekend with him. His grin immediately widens as he warns her to keep her promise and not cheat him. If she lies, she has to spend the whole summer break with him. Soon, monthly test results are out. She and Liu Ruyan are only 1 point apart, with her taking first place and him taking second. As they look up at the ranking board, their classmates start gossiping like crazy. Everyone is confused how the top student ended up in second place since he never loses. When she goes to the teacher office, the homeroom teacher highly praises her for that final math problem. She was the only one in class to solve it, making nearby students stare in absolute shock. Did Liu Ruyan fail to answer it, she asks, as the teacher sighs with a highly disappointed look. The teacher explains he actually left 2 major questions completely blank and turned his test paper in early. The teacher is literally talking to himself. Lin Mo skipped 2 questions and still got a perfect score. Look at that. The advisor pushes up his glasses, locking a sharp gaze right on Lin Mo. He tells the class that some girls aren't actually bad at studying. They are just lazy, and the moment you slack off, they will catch right up. Lin Mo grips his exam paper and walks out, only to spot a massive crowd blocking the hallway. A bunch of girls are surrounding Liu Ruyan, hyping her up for the afternoon competition. The guys are all hyping up Liu Ruyan, saying he has got this in the bag. He walks past Lin Mo with his usual tall, aloof vibe, and she just ignores him. As the sunset fades, the classroom completely empties out after the cleaning crew leaves. First place. That was the one thing Lin Mo desperately wanted as she packed up her books. But her pencil case slips, scattering everything everywhere, and she just cannot find one of the caps. She gets more and more frustrated looking for it, knowing first place comes so easy to him. He did not even see her as a real rival. And then a cold voice behind her says, "Do not cry." Startled, she spins around and bumps into the desk, seeing him casually leaning against the doorframe. Picking up the lost cap near his feet, he places it right on her desk. With a smirk, he asks if he did not already let her have that first place spot. Lin Mo grabs her bag to leave, but he moves like a flash, grabbing her wrist and pulling her close. She stumbles right into him, catching that faint, cool scent of locust blossoms on his clothes. It is literally a classic webtoon accident. Her head collides hard straight into his chin. He winces with a soft groan and teases her for holding such a petty grudge. She coldly tells him to let go, but he just looks down and asks if she actually likes him. Yanking her arm back is completely useless against his grip, so she just snaps. He just laughs it off and asks why she is so completely obsessed with beating him then. Treating her like a puppy, he asks if wanting first place is just a confession. Talk about insane confidence. Does he think everyone is just begging to join his fish pond? Honestly, his massive ego is so wild it actually makes her laugh. So she decides to play along and says fine, she only likes guys who get first place. She dares him to keep that top spot forever because she will only ever care about whoever is number 1. Finally letting go of her wrist, his voice sounds incredibly arrogant. Is that supposed to be hard? He sneers, but then the physics contest results drop. And oh my god, the ultimate plot twist occurs. The untouchable Liu Ruyan gets absolutely dethroned. The guaranteed Ivy League equivalent spot goes to a completely unexpected top-tier dark horse instead. Lin Mo stands in the massive crowd, pulling off her headphones to check the rankings. Peering closely, she scans the top of the board for the new winner. Jiang Mianmian. The name sounds incredibly familiar to everyone in the hall. No shot. It is actually the legendary sister Mianmian, who is famous for her elite combat skills. Beautiful, deadly, and the one person nobody dares to cross. The classroom instantly erupts into absolute chaos, everyone buzzing over the news. They are all gossiping about the new queen, but the moment Liu Ruyan walks in, the room goes dead silent. Talk about a total fall from grace. You can literally feel the secondhand embarrassment.
Acting completely unbothered, he keeps his cool face on like nothing happened. Casually grabbing his deskmate's manga cards, he pretends he is not dying inside.
His entire family was so sure of his victory, they literally booked the celebration banquet hall already. Losing was never even an option in his mind, until a classmate yells that He Qiang is looking for him. Liu Ruyan glances up, barely able to hide his sheer irritation at this point. He absolutely hates the spotlight. Yet He Qiang immediately drags him back into the spotlight, stopping right behind Lin Mo's desk. He Qiang pulls out a bag of snacks, telling him not to feel too down about the results. His voice is pretty quiet, but in this tense room, everyone hears it. The classroom is so dead silent that even the front row kids turn around to watch the drama unfold. Showing a fake, strained smile, he insists his mood is perfectly fine. One of them asks why she would even be mad, telling Ruyan not to worry. They claim Lin Mo getting early admission isn't even that big of a deal anyway. Liu Ruyan smiles, but her tone is absolutely freezing. Her coldness immediately makes her simp He Qiang tear up, begging her not to be mad. He Qiang starts sobbing, complaining that everyone is blaming him for ruining her study time. But he claims only he knows how incredibly hard she worked for this test. She was staying up all night studying, terrified of losing her early admission spot. The more he talks, the more her smile fades. She looks completely annoyed now. Her simp keeps crying about how they all thought she would easily win. He is crying so loud, you would think his favorite idol just got canceled. But then out of nowhere, this guy Jiang Mianmian steals the entire spotlight. He never studies, yet casually gets the top score, prompting someone to tell He Qiang to shut up.
A female classmate steps in with a sharp remark, instantly cutting off He Qiang's endless whining.
He looks at her in shock, while she blushes and steals a quick glance at Lin Mo. Keep it quiet. Some people are actually trying to study here. Meanwhile, Lin Mo just flips his paper, completely ignoring them to review his mistakes. He doesn't even look up, but Liu Ruyan is staring a hole straight into him. She stares like she is seeing him for the first time, asking if he knows Jiang Mianmian. When the bell rings for PE, the classroom empties out, leaving just the two of them. Lin Mo just got back from the office and coldly says he doesn't know him, not even looking her way. He puts on his headphones, getting ready to head down to the field. She stops him, calling his score a total fluke, but Lin Mo literally couldn't care less. She grabs his arm, claiming Jiang Mianmian's dad is a major professor who leaked the questions. Honestly, talk about massive cope. She is already throwing dirt because she got beat. Lin Mo turns around with a raised eyebrow, telling her it is okay to lose. He tells her not to be scared, but her reaction isn't just anger. It is pure, deep-seated terror of realizing she is not the smartest person in the room. Lin Mo asks why she's so defensive, stepping right on her ultimate landmine. She scoffs with absolute disdain, asking if he actually thinks Jiang Mianmian would ever notice him. Honestly, that is hilarious. Lin Mo just cracks a smile and walks straight to the sports field. She thinks she actually hurt his feelings, absolutely loving her little power trip. She follows him out, bragging about how wealthy Jiang Mianmian's family is. She insults Lin Mo, calling him a boring nerd who does nothing but study all day. She sneers, asking why anyone would ever like him, just as they pass the main hallway. A warm summer breeze blows through the hallway as they hear the teacher from Class 1 shouting. Right outside the classroom, their teacher is absolutely laying into Jiang Mianmian. Apparently, skipping class wasn't enough because he also got into a massive street fight. The teacher keeps lecturing him about having way too much energy. Jiang Mianmian just shrugs, claiming he didn't even start the fight. With pure ambition in her eyes, Lin Mo just casually passes by. As soon as they spot her, they immediately bolt because honestly, nobody can control her. The homeroom teacher walks right up to bring up that speech under the national flag again, asking if she is ready, but she is like, please do not. The teacher gasps, saying this is a huge honor, so how is it a hassle? The teacher literally stomps her foot, demanding she shares her early admission secrets with the entire school right now. His homeroom teacher kept talking about what a huge honor it was. Meanwhile, Jiang Mianmian just lazily leaned against the wall with his long eyelashes drooping. That effortless, cold beauty of his had the guys by the window constantly staring at his face. Suddenly, Jiang Mianmian looked confused as his gaze drifted toward the other end of the hallway. He spotted our main character and Liu Ruyan, instantly snapping out of his daydreaming state. His pretty face immediately scrunched up into a pout, like he was totally upset. Following his gaze, the teacher glanced over at our main character and Liu Ruyan a few times. The teacher shouted at them to stop slacking off and get back to class immediately. Our main character completely ignored Jiang Mianmian's dramatic glare and quietly headed straight for the sports field. The school gossip was wild. Does Jiang Mianmian have a boyfriend, or are his standards too high? Besides, who would even dare to mess with him? Hey, Ye Chen, aren't you two childhood friends? They begged him to spill the tea while crowding around the boys' restroom sinks to gossip.
Right as our main character walked in, he ran straight into the school heartthrob, Ye Chen.
Ye Chen smiled, casually adjusting a few loose strands of his hair.
He whispered for them to keep it quiet since they were dating secretly, making the guys go wild.
They screamed in shock while our guy just pushed past, asking them to let him wash his hands. Ye Chen reluctantly nudged over just a tiny bit, but then raised his voice to warn everyone not to let the secret out.
He claimed Jiang Mianmian wanted to keep it secret so it wouldn't affect his studies.
It would be bad if the teachers found out, he muttered, acting all shy and waving his hands. Our main character turned on the faucet to wash up, but the guy barely even budged.
Our guy had to squeeze in, accidentally splashing a few drops of water onto Ye Chen's school pants.
Ye Chen glared fiercely and snapped if he was blind, while our guy calmly wiped the water off. He coldly replied that if Ye Chen actually had eyes, he should have moved his butt over. Standing around smelling toilet air is wild, and honestly, our guy's roasts are top tier. Ye Chen furiously tried to grab our guy, but his drama bestie quickly held him back. Telling him to ignore it, the bestie sneered that some lonely losers just get easily jealous. Rolling his eyes, he claimed our guy was probably just incredibly bitter about Ye Chen dating the school star. Hearing this, Ye Chen immediately stopped being mad and smirked. He looked at our main character with mock pity, but our guy did not even care. Honestly, why waste energy arguing when he could be studying and solving actual practice questions? Back in the classroom, the sports rep was standing on the podium trying to get attention. He yelled over the chaotic classroom noise, desperately telling everyone to shut up and listen. The relay slots are fully booked, but we still need someone for the grueling 3,000 meters. Since running 3 kilometers is absolutely exhausting and brutal, nobody in the classroom wanted to volunteer. So the sports rep decided to call names, his eyes scanning the room until landing on Liu Ruyan.
He asked if he could do it, but don't let Liu Ruyan's tall height fool you.
This guy was a total shut-in who hated doing anything physically active. Going downstairs was a chore to him, so his expression darkened immediately in pure annoyance. He ignored him completely, leaving the frustrated sports rep grumbling about how the other class was superior. Apparently, Class 1 signed up Jiang Mianmian for the 3 kilometers since he was a total beast.
He begged his classmates to step up, sighing that Jiang Mianmian would easily sweep first place anyway.
But just as everyone lost hope, Liu Ruyan unexpectedly spoke up to take the challenge.
He calmly told them that 3 kilometers was absolutely nothing to him.
The thrilled sports rep immediately placed all his hopes on Liu Ruyan. Class 1 stands absolutely zero chance now. Man, I love when the quiet ones step up.
The classmates are teasing them, and Liu Ruyan just smirks silently.
Clearly loving the attention, his gaze lazily lands on our MC. Then he looks away. Honestly, the noon sun on sports day is absolutely brutal. Yet the schoolyard is completely packed, mostly with guys crowding around. The speakers are blasting for non-runners of the 3,000 meters to clear the track. Our class star, Liu Ruyan, is sipping water up front, surrounded by a massive crowd. For the past few days, he has been training 3,000 meters every single night. He ran so much that even the neighborhood dogs barked their heads off. Are you actually ready for this, Runyon? A classmate asks. He just scoffs arrogantly, making everyone tease him for acting like their precious golden boy. Of course he's going to make the other class cry. Liu Ruyan caps his bottle and smirks that it is just a game. Claiming he did not even practice. Classic OP ego, right? Meanwhile, our MC is chilling in the shade. He is just handing out water and bread until Liu Ruyan suddenly walks straight over.
With all eyes on him, the guy tosses his school jacket right at our protagonist.
It lands with a heavy thud right on his test paper, like some grand charity. Our MC frowns and looks up, meeting that smug, high and mighty grin. "Stop pretending to study," he says, "and just watch the race." Then he strutted right to the center of the track, while our hero watched him go. At the center, the tall and handsome Jiang Mianmian stands out instantly. His black sports headband holds back his hair, making his wild features look incredibly sharp.
His high nose bridge catches the sunlight, adding a rebellious, youthful charm.
He Qiang walks over to hand him water, but Jiang Mianmian coldly rejects it.
Scanning the field, his gaze lands right on our class tent. He glares at Liu Ruyan, but seeing our MC in the logistics booth makes him super annoyed.
Honestly, seeing the two of them together instantly makes his jealous face twist. This is hilarious.
With a heavy huff, the runners take their marks, while Liu Ruyan glares back. Jiang Mianmian ignores him completely, and then boom, the starting gun goes off. Liu Ruyan paces himself in the middle pack, while Jiang Mianmian effortlessly glides right next to him. Their speeds are neck and neck, and after 5 laps, the other runners are totally left behind. Now it is just a 2-man showdown, and our classmates are screaming at the top of their lungs, cheering for Liu Ruyan to take first place.
But Liu Ruyan's breathing is getting messy, though he tries his best to adjust.
He keeps glancing at Jiang Mianmian, who is matching his exact speed. Yet he looks as relaxed as if he's just taking a casual stroll. With 1.5 laps left, Liu Ruyan starts pushing himself under the blazing sun.
His face is totally contorted, and the cheers from our class are getting insanely loud.
With only 1 lap to go, Liu Ruyan finally pulls ahead of Jiang Mianmian. Gasping for air, he sprints desperately toward the finish line. Meanwhile, Jiang Mianmian is just casually jogging behind, scanning the crowd for our protagonist, offering him a bright, sweet smile while Liu Ruyan is literally fighting for his life. What a childish guy, basically shopping on the track.
Our MC is speechless, merely mouthing for him to hurry up with only half a lap left. Seeing the finish line getting closer, a smile finally breaks across Liu Ruyan's face.
Regaining his smug composure, he glares back to check on Jiang Mianmian,
only to realize that Jiang Mianmian is suddenly shooting forward like a rocket.
Moving so fast, she is basically a blur. Jiang Mianmian tears through the finish line. Liu Ruyan is completely frozen because first place goes to Jiang Mianmian. The girls in class go absolutely wild. Honestly, what a massive win. Mianmian did not care about him at all, but suddenly the teacher screams because Liu Ruyan literally passes out cold. All the students are staring at Liu Ruyan in disbelief right after they cross the finish line.
He collapses onto the boiling hot track, making the panicking teacher scream at the logistics squad to get over here.
Get water, quick. And wait, where is my jacket? Liu Ruyan finally wakes up inside the quiet school infirmary. Lin Mo looks up from her intense math paper, deciding to just give him the brutal truth. When he tossed his jacket, it blocked her test, so she casually shoved it somewhere and totally forgot about it. He turns his face away, muttering that the school shouldn't make them run 3 kilometers at noon. He claims even fit guys get heat stroke, but Lin Mo tells him that is not what happened. Closing her paper with a totally blank face, she says the doctor blamed his lack of actual exercise. Going too hard out of nowhere just drained his stamina, and hearing this makes his pale neck turn bright red. He quickly tries to change the subject, asking why she is even here while everyone else is out getting lunch. He whispers in a deep voice that he knows she's just worried, which is honestly so shameless of him. She actually just wanted a quiet room with air conditioning so she could focus on her math test. Plus, she does not want to act too distant from the class and risk getting completely isolated. It avoids unnecessary drama and makes her look like a helpful classmate. This setup saves way more time than typical high school social drama, but since her time is already being wasted anyway, she refuses to let the time go to waste, asking how to solve this. Pointing at a brutal math question, she admits her own current method is just way too slow.
Her blunt question instantly kills the romantic vibe as he glares at the paper, complaining his head hurts. She decides to pack up her bag and leave, but he suddenly reaches out and stops her.
With the bright sunlight reflecting in his cold eyes, he tells her they can draw the auxiliary line differently.
She has him explain several exam papers in a row, quickly realizing there is a very good reason he always ranks first. His logic is insanely clear, allowing him to instantly lock onto the main points of any tough question.
He coughs a bit after finishing the final problem, and Lin Mo actually thanks him from the bottom of her heart. She glances at her watch, realizing it is almost 2 o'clock.
Since she is off logistics duty for the afternoon, she plans on heading home to study online. Watching her pack up, he suddenly mutters that he is hungry, using a rare, soft tone to get her attention.
She just slings on her backpack and heads to the door, telling him his friend went to get him food. Her blunt response completely shuts him down, leaving him absolutely speechless with 0 excuses left.
He slowly speaks up, telling Lin Mo that she is very smart, which actually surprises her a little.
She coolly replies that she already knows, making him stare directly into her face.
He promises to teach her any hard questions in the future, which is a rare moment of kindness from him.
He coughs a few more times, staring at her as if pleading for some sort of sympathy. Feeling his silent guilt trip, she pauses with her hand on the doorknob and sincerely thanks him for today. Telling him to rest well, he suddenly calls out her name, but she leaves before he can even finish.
Suddenly, the clinic door slammed open, bringing in a sharp gust of wind. Lin Mo stumbled right into a firm chest, and honestly, that classic woodsy scent of his always hits different.
Liu Ruyan shut his mouth, his eyes darting suspiciously between her and Jiang Mianmian.
Jiang Mianmian instinctively caught her by the waist to keep her from falling.
It was an incredibly natural gesture, almost like pure instinct. He is literally him.
He glanced down at her and coldly let go.
Sweeping his cold gaze over the pale Liu Ruyan, he silently walked to the cabinet.
He was aggressively rummaging for medicine. He is clearly mad, but she has to catch her online class. Honestly, who needs boys when you have grades to pull? So yeah, she was out of there.
The next morning, classmates whispered to He Qiang that her supposed boyfriend, Jiang Mianmian, was giving the speech.
During the flag-raising assembly, the kids in the back of Class 1 were gossiping like crazy.
Shh, keep it down, He Qiang warned with a smug grin.
He hates going public, she bragged, while Lin Mo just stood at the back of the line. She was quietly memorizing vocab cards when Liu Ruyan suddenly leaned in behind her.
You heard that, right? He has a girlfriend, he sneered, trying to get under her skin.
Lin Mo turned around and asked if he liked him, making him look utterly disgusted.
If not, then mind your own business, she replied, completely shutting him down.
I am just being nice, Liu Ruyan snapped, warning her not to waste her time.
Once the principal finished, the dean gestured for Jiang Mianmian to step up to the microphone.
The second Jiang Mianmian stepped up, every single student in the crowd locked eyes on him.
After all, everyone was dying to know how a school bully suddenly became the top student.
Especially since this guy was notoriously rebellious and always looked like trouble.
Everyone wondered what he would say. I mean, the bad boy turned genius? The author cooked here. Before he could even finish his greeting, the guys in Class 1 started cheering and clapping.
The dean glared at them, and their homeroom teacher quickly hushed them up.
With a wild, carefree grin, Jiang Mianmian was not intimidated by the massive crowd at all. Exuding that raw charm that made him incredibly popular, he spoke directly into the mic.
He casually told the crowd that his teacher wanted him to share his exam tips.
But honestly, my path is not really a guide because everyone knows my usual wild reputation.
However, my teacher insisted that I could at least share my actual motivation.
To be fair, physics is not my passion, and I do not have many hobbies. But my absolute greatest hobby in life is Lin Mo, he confessed. Nah, that is actually insane.
Her name boomed through the speakers, echoing loudly across the entire playground.
The students froze in absolute shock, and the teachers were completely speechless.
The principal stared blankly, struggling to comprehend what he just heard.
This is pure comedy. He shouted her name, declaring he had to ace his exams just to see her on weekends.
His bold, unwavering voice cut through the massive crowd, striking her right in the chest. The entire playground instantly erupted as everyone demanded to know who Lin Mo was. After some chaotic finger-pointing, every single head turned in her direction.
It was like an order, the entire student body collectively staring right at her.
Seeing the chaos, the panicked dean rushed onto the stage.
He instantly cut the mic and furiously dragged Jiang Mianmian off.
Meanwhile, both He Qiang and Liu Ruyan looked incredibly pale. Honestly, seeing their faces crumble is so satisfying.
Wait, a nearby classmate asked He Qiang, "Did not you say he was obsessed with you?"
Before she could even make up a lie, the teacher shut her up.
Right after the flag ceremony ends, classmates are furious about losing points. Like, seriously?
While the other classes head back, the dean drags Jiang Mianmian under a tree to give her a serious lecture.
He straight up asks what she means by her biggest hobby being Suzuki. Like, are they dating already?
She claims it is just a one-sided crush. He only cares about studying, she says.
The dean taps her head. How would he dare? She is way too fierce. On the way back, when Liu Ruyan walks past her, he starts throwing major shade. He sneers that if she could solve problems as fast as she swaps crushes,
She would have been first place long ago. Meanwhile, she has ignored Jiang Mianmian for 2 straight weeks now.
to her, he is like a sudden volcanic eruption crashing right into her super quiet and peaceful life.
He is constantly in the spotlight, and now her own life is getting pretty chaotic too. But she has always been an absolute pro at blocking out gossip. The real reason she is ignoring him
Is that the next monthly exams are here. The teacher even starts preaching, warning some students who only focus on fooling around.
without realizing the person they are playing with is already guaranteed admission. Sure, go ahead and fool around. They will end up at a top-tier university anyway, while you end up with absolutely nothing to show for it. Right in the middle of the lecture, the teacher suddenly starts dropping massive shade without even naming names. She claims some people only got first place last time out of pure done luck, and that luck will not strike twice.
So they better just pray for themselves. Hearing this, a couple of majorly gossipy classmates in front
Immediately whip around to check her reaction and start whispering behind their hands.
Once class is over, Liu Ruyan swaggered right past her desk.
He suddenly stops and tells her to relax, promising her that she will still take first place this time.
She just looks up at him totally blank, while he stands there acting like some master chess player who planned everything. On exam day, she realizes he is pulling the exact same stunt, handing in his paper early and leaving questions blank. He actually wants to hand her the first place on a silver platter, but this time, things do not go his way.
Sure, she still ranks first and he sits at second, but here is the plot twist he did not see coming.
Unlike last time where she only won by a single point, this time she beat him by a whopping 35 points. This means even if he got those last 2 questions completely right, his score would still be 3 points below hers.
This well-deserved victory makes his little score-controlling stunt look totally pointless and honestly pretty embarrassing.
The teacher actually praises her, telling her she made huge progress.
But the haters in class whisper that Liu Ruyan hasn't even tried yet, and once he does, she will be shaking. Told to keep up the good work, she carries her test paper back to the classroom.
But she bumps right into Liu Ruyan, who is currently being cornered at the door by He Qiang.
He Qiang is whining that he saw Zhang Yang giving him water yesterday, asking if he thinks that guy is nice. See, Zhang Yang is another junior rumored to be chasing Liu Ruyan lately, and the drama is getting real.
He is chasing him way harder, and he is a total pretty boy, too. Basically a natural-born simpleton, Liu Ruyan just frowns and aggressively shakes his hand off.
He snaps about He Qiang controlling who gives him water, while He Qiang whines that maybe he is not as pretty as him.
But how can he ignore all the effort he put in? He Qiang actually looks like he is about to cry. Honestly, just being nice is the easiest thing to replace in a relationship, and a guy like Liu Ruyan has plenty of options anyway.
There is no way he would ever cherish that. She completely ignores their little drama and heads straight into the classroom, but Liu Ruyan grabs her arm, saying she did pretty well.
He looks down at the test paper in her hand. Seriously, this guy always loves to act like a critic.
Whether commenting on how smart she is or judging her grades, he always acts like she constantly needs his opinion on everything.
She tells him to back off and shakes him off to leave.
Instead of letting her go, he focuses entirely on her, completely ignoring He Qiang crying right at the door. Ain't no way! This guy is the type who chases harder the more you ignore him. Talk about playing mind games.
Don't get too confident, he chuckles softly, promising he will not go easy on her next time. Later that night, right after finishing a test paper, she hears a sudden tap against her window from a pebble. Thinking it is just some annoying neighbor playing pranks, she opens the window ready to yell, but locks eyes with a gorgeous face downstairs. It is Jiang Mianmian, standing there in a sleek black hoodie. Later that night, his deep eyes are full of a soft, hazy summer mist.
But with one eye covered in gauze, he looks like a pitiful little kitten.
She hadn't seen him in forever.
He whines about his eye hurting.
She reminds him he never cried during brutal martial arts training, then demands he carry her downstairs.
Still, she rushes out in her pajamas. Asking if he got into a fight, she reaches for his bandage, but he grabs her hand. He pulls her into a tight hug, wrapping her in his oversized black hoodie. His clean, woody scent fills the warm summer air, absolutely addictive. When she says they shouldn't meet because of her upcoming exams, he starts complaining about his eye again. Knowing he is acting, she leans in, pretending she is going to kiss him. He waits eagerly, eyes shining bright. While he is distracted, she sneaky lifts a corner of the white bandage on his eye. It falls right off. His eye is completely fine, faking it. Of course, he plays the victim, asking why she had to trick him with a fake kiss. Then he holds her head and kisses her anyway, refusing to stop until he is satisfied. Catching her breath, she points out his eye is obviously fine. He complains defensively, bringing up how she fainted after running a tiny distance while dog walking. He asks why he can't act fragile too, leaving her totally speechless at his pettiness. She was just helping with logistics, and he saw how angry she was back then. Yet instead of comforting her, he just turned and walked away. He sighs dramatically, complaining that she could have at least looked back at him. When she leaves to study, he just nods to soothe his wounded ego. He claims he had to comfort himself by believing she was just rushing to study. The guy keeps rambling on. He mutters that he will never win a popularity contest against her schoolwork. A gentle breeze sways the trees. Their shadows on the wall dance and overlap as the soft moonlight washes over them. He begs her to spend the weekend with him since she already got early admission. She flatly refuses, saying she still needs to study. But he starts acting spoiled, promising he won't distract her if he tag along silently. He even offers to tutor her, but she points out he will just be bored. He sweet-talks her, saying seeing her is enough, though she keeps dragging out this promised date. Finally, Saturday arrives, and they agree to meet right outside the subway station. When she suggests going to the library, he complains that it is way too crowded. Taking her heavy backpack, he suggests they head over to his place. Seeing her suspicious look, he smirks and promises his dad is home.
And sure enough, when they arrive at his family's massive villa, his dad is actually there. His face instantly falls. Why is his dad even home?
Someone asks if this is the beloved Momo he always brags about, noting his young-looking dad. Silky black hair, gentle eyes, he basically screams rich. In the living room, a bunch of grandparents are staring at them with pure, loving affection.
And get this, those sweet seniors are actually legendary, top-tier giants in the academic world.
Don't scare him, Jiang Mianmian warns, before giving a few quick rules. While Mianmian runs to the kitchen to fetch her water, his uncle asks what she likes about him. The uncle whispers the question, while she secretly thinks he has amazing stamina. But she quickly covers it up, saying he has good grades, which makes his uncle laugh. Silly child, his good grades are his own business. What use is that to you, he says. My boy Mianmian is way too much of a simp, so definitely dump him if he ever holds you back. Patting her shoulder, the uncle tells her to always put her own future first. What a legend. Later, Mianmian takes her to his room, which literally looks bigger than her family's entire living room. The spacious balcony overlooks distant mountains, and the walls are stacked with endless physics books. With boxing gloves scattered on the floor, he explains his parents taught him physics since age 3. He tells her she can just ask if she ever gets confused by those books. He slowly learned to understand them over time, which explains a lot.
So his competition wins and early admission were not a fluke. He is literally a hidden boss.
Mianmian suddenly asks her why she is so obsessed with getting first place.
Because it feels amazing, and her fierce competitive drive completely rules her repetitive life between home and school. There are just too many senseless rules and hidden prejudices in this world, and people love to label her.
She was always ignored by everyone since childhood, simply for not being pretty, smart, or outgoing enough.
Meanwhile, other people easily get all the praise and attention, like the popular girl Liu Ruyan. But she is clearly not one of them.
People claim girls can never beat boys in studies, and that her hard work is just useless.
They think girls lack the quick thinking of boys, but she does not care about their labels. She wants to get first place, but not to seek praise from her teachers.
She wants to force them to acknowledge her by keeping her name at the very top of the list,
to prove how narrow-minded their prejudices really were. But Mianmian still does not get it.
Frowning, Mianmian admits his confusion with total honesty.
At the end of the day, are you not just trying to prove yourself and force them to acknowledge you? Nobody can guarantee perfect test results, so what if you actually mess up the final college entrance exam?
Does that suddenly mean you are no longer an outstanding person? Mianmian asks her directly.
Why let an exam define who you are? Honestly, it is totally normal that he does not understand.
His parents are incredibly open-minded and supportive, always appreciating all the different sides of him.
Plus, his family's wealthy background allows him to try out absolutely anything he wants. But her parents are totally different, and they never taught her physics from a young age.
They are always busy working, and just checking your homework once in a while takes all their energy.
Just like your school teachers, they define a person's entire worth in the most basic and straightforward way possible.
How are your grades, and how did you do on the test?
Only results matter. But then, Mianmian asks if Suzuki has ever tried.
Simply loving the actual process of learning itself instead of just desperately chasing a final result?
Flipping through a few pages of his physics book, Mianmian offers her some solid advice.
Solving tough problems completely with your own brain actually brings a massive and genuine sense of achievement.
As the evening breeze blows in from the valley, she works on her practice test for hours. And Min peacefully sleeps right next to her the entire time, keeping his promise of not bothering her.
He does not disturb her at all, looking incredibly cute and fluffy while fast asleep.
Suddenly, she hears some loud arguments coming from the first floor downstairs.
Curiosity getting the best of her, she heads downstairs to find the living room packed. Everyone is holding notebooks and textbooks, looking like they are in the middle of a heated academic seminar. Just as they begin to debate a complex academic topic, an ordinary-looking senior suddenly stands up. She confidently shares her views with everyone, speaking with incredibly clear and logical points. Bright and poised, she easily handles another girl who tries to push back. She easily clarifies everything, earning a massive round of applause. Sitting quietly on the stairs, Lin Mo listens to complex, high-level topics she barely understands. But Lin Mo finds them incredibly fascinating. Suddenly, Jiang Mianmian's dad comes over and sits down right next to her.
He hands her some freshly prepared ginseng chicken soup. She politely accepts the bowl and sips it quietly.
It tastes amazing. He gently asks if she enjoys listening to their deep conversations.
She honestly admits she does, because everyone in this room seems to literally shine.
I really like you, the warm-hearted uncle says with a gentle smile.
You have this intense spark in your eyes, believing that absolutely nobody else gets to define how you shine. This is her first time receiving real praise, not just some patronizing pity from above. It feels so pure and genuine, making her deeply envy Jiang Mianmian's loving family. Growing up in this warm environment must be amazing. He gently advises her to prioritize her own future above all. Not because she would hold Mianmian back, but because she might get held back instead. He pats her shoulder. Losing a simple high school relationship is really nothing. But wasting a golden opportunity to make yourself shine in this life, that is the real tragedy. If Mianmian ever stands in the way of her biggest goals and dreams, promise to choose yourself, she agrees. But the moment she finally gets back home, her dad immediately starts screaming, yelling at her for being out all day without cooking dinner. Her sister is only 1 year younger, yet Lin Mo is forced to do all the work. Does she not have hands? Lin Mo yells back angrily, slamming her bedroom door shut. Her father keeps screaming downstairs, but she quickly blocks him out completely with headphones. Spreading her exam papers, she finds a sweet surprise tucked inside her school bag. A pile of snacks stuffed by Mianmian. She opens her notebook to analyze her mistakes.
Opening the notebook, she sees that Mianmian wrote detailed pencil notes everywhere. These brilliant secret tips offer massive shortcuts, completely leveling up her study game. Mianmian must have written them in secret. Lin Mo studies every single line eagerly. Everything she struggled with before is now broken down into the simplest, clearest steps she can easily understand. Reaching the very last page, she spots a hilarious little drawing at the bottom. The grumpy puppy drawing warns her to ask Mianmian for help, never her annoying rivals. It is terribly drawn, but absolutely adorable. Soon enough, the final exams finally arrive. Before the test, Liu Ruyan smugly warns her that she won't hold back this time.
Honestly, seeing Lin Mo completely outgrow this petty rivalry is such an absolute vibe. I love this so much.
She is only competing with herself, completely ignoring her opponent's desperate trash talk.
Grabbing her admission ticket, she confidently walks in. Fast forward, and report card day finally arrives.
Right where Mianmian's physics award used to hang on the pink paper on the bulletin board, the new citywide rankings are posted and Lin Mo's name is sitting proudly right at the top. She beat Liu Ruyan by almost 50 points. In the office, the teacher screams. What on earth happened? Were you too busy slacking off with He Qiang? The head teacher lectures Liu Ruyan in the office, pointing out that Lin Mo used to lag far behind. She could not even touch your scores, but now she has completely surpassed you. You can't even see her dust anymore, which is why I warned you before. Adjusting his glasses, the teacher warns her not to rely on cheap shortcuts anymore. Without real study, nobody succeeds. True winners always put in the hard work. Meanwhile, Lin Mo just walks right past him, headed to ask about some English grammar. Only a few classmates are left sweeping up when the toxic academic rival Liu Ruyan stops right by our girl's desk. He sneers and asks if she's finally happy now that she got the first place spot she wanted so bad. She looks him dead in the eye and calmly tells him that, yeah, she's actually thrilled. It's honestly crazy how she used to pour all her energy into viewing this guy as her ultimate rival. She even cried when he looked down on her, but now he's the one desperately trying to compete with her. He's desperately trying to catch up, but at this point, she practically couldn't care less. Talk about a major character glow-up. She's officially moved on and only cares about shining on her own terms. All the way until the college entrance exams, Liu Ruyan never manages to beat her score again. She leaves him completely in the dust, securing the absolute #1 spot in the entire school. Her face makes it straight to the top of the honor roll, right next to the school rebel Jiang Mianmian. Before the photo shoot, Jiang Mianmian told her to raise her left hand to make a cute matching heart gesture. But she found that way too embarrassing and refused, leaving the final honor roll display looking hilarious. His picture shows him making a half heart to the right while she stands next to him looking completely unbothered. He actually stayed mad at her for a whole week, but he missed talking to her too much to keep it up. So he basically just forgives her on his own, runs to the honor roll board, and takes matters into his own hands. He takes a marker and draws a half heart on her photo to finally complete their matching set. Talk about a childish menace, but on graduation day, his little stunt completely backfires on him. The dean drags him out in front of everyone and forces him to carry a bucket to scrub it off. All the passing underclassmen have already heard about his legendary school stunts, so they stop to watch the show. Everyone gathers around to enjoy the comedy. Meanwhile, the class teacher is smiling warmly at our top-tier main character. The teacher pats her on the shoulder and says with a proud smile that they always knew she would succeed. The teacher calls her the most hard-working student in the class, and she just smiles back in silence. She reaches out to take her school records while another teacher next door is loudly lecturing a student. The teacher is nagging about how high school dating ruins everything, saying, "Look at the consequences now."
Liu Ruyan got into Peking University while this poor kid has to stay behind and repeat a year.
Across the office, the teacher is passionately trying to comfort a totally devastated He Qiang. The boy is literally in tears, looking up to glance at our girl before quickly hanging his head in shame. Honestly, Liu Ruyan's performance was pretty stable, and he just kept his usual high scores. He stayed exactly where he was, but she has completely evolved past her old self. Nothing is holding her back from surpassing her limits now as she steps out of the office into the hallway. She looks down and sees Jiang Mianmian by the school gate, still scrubbing away at his marker heart. He's squatting on the ground with his back straight, his messy hair catching the warm, early summer light. His hair drifts in the wind while a group of girls walk past to tease him and play around.
They point at the honor roll and crack jokes, showing how he's naturally the center of attention.
It's crazy to think this incredibly cool, rebellious boy was once totally reined in by her.
Back when she had to teach him how to kiss step by step, his pale face would turn completely red.
He was so incredibly innocent and flustered, even though he claims she was the one who corrupted him first.
He carries his bucket to the sink at the back of the playground to wash it out.
The running water shimmers under the sunlight filtering through the trees, perfectly lighting up Jiang Mianmian.
He looks up to meet her eyes, and she sits on the edge of the sink, wrapping her arms around his waist.
She leans down to kiss him, just like the day they first met, the breeze gently blowing through her hair.
The wind feels soft, like his touch, and the early summer air is both warm and bright.
Turns out he's always been a fast learner, and he catches on immediately. She initially just wanted a fleeting escape, but with him, it blossomed into something beautifully real.
And in his genuine love, she finally managed to find herself.